everybody, it's Carm here. I'm coming to you on a Sunday morning. Just getting off the graveyard shift. I've been up since 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and I'm full of caffeine. So I figured this is as good a time as any to do a video while I'm still relatively vertical. And this is actually inspired by a conversation Shannon and I were having. I'm sure many of you know Shannon by now, Shannon D. Hey Shannon, watching. The subject of music as medicine came up. Talking about situations in our lives. I mean, anyone who's watching and anyone who makes these kinds of videos relates to that. Probably views music as medicine in general, just as a tonic or a balm for just whenever it's there, whenever you need it. A tough day at work, tough situations you're in, or whatever it may be. Music is always there to heal. But what I'm curious about asking some of you here is specific instances in your life when music really kind of got you through something more specific. Maybe not only got you through it, but almost healed you permanently, or at least, I'll give an example of my own that I shared with Shannon. Back in late summer of 1998, I was working at a grocery store, and it was a day like any other, and it was probably about halfway through the shift or so, and they were doing construction on the roof, and I was working in the produce department at the time, and the area they were working was right in the very corner of the store in the department I was working in. I'm not sure what they were doing, maybe adding something or repairing something, I'm not sure. But the materials they were working with didn't seem to be evenly distributed on the roof of the building. So it was all kind of clustered in one corner, and they were banging and doing something. And the banging got louder, and then all of a sudden it just caved in, and that whole area was engulfed with debris and material, all kinds of material, and dust flying everywhere. And Shannon was telling the story of at her job recently, where the part of the ceiling caved in, and it brought me back to that right away. And I wish I could say that nobody was injured, but there were some injuries. Thankfully, no one died. But and I just remember everyone scurrying around, all trying to find. Not even sure where to go. Needless to say, the store was evacuated and closed, I think for about a week or a week and a half. It took to repair everything, but it was a very traumatic event. I mean, I still remember it as clear as can be, and it was 19 years ago. It seemed to happen in slow motion, but it was so heavy it didn't seem real. But I remember, for the next few hours, just shaking like a leaf. I mean, still just trembling from the experience, as I'm sure many others were. And later that day, I went by my uncle's house, who I think I've mentioned before. He isn't technically my uncle, but I think of him as an uncle, a dear old family friend. And I don't know if I stopped home first, but I ended up bringing this CD with me, which I know I've showed and talked about before. Deep Listening Band, Pauline Oliveros, Stuart Dempster, and Penny Otis. Great improvisational droning trio, just an all-time favorite album here. And I remember bringing it over to his house. Well, first I told him the story about what happened that day, and I was really taken with it, just the sheer, the impact of it. But we sat down and put on the CD. He'd always been a dyed-in-the-wool rock and roller, but he was open to some weird stuff too. And we just sat back and just listened to it. It was the windows are open. It was a real mild day, kind of like it is today. Breeze was blowing through, very sunny. Sunshine poured through a certain way where you could kind of see the dust particles a little bit, by the window, and just listen to this incredible piece of music. And it was so calming and soothing, and it just perfect in that moment. And I think the fact that we were enjoying it together really heightened it. And I swear to you, as soon as once that was done, the CD was done, I still had the memory of the day's events, but the nerves were completely calmed really permanently from that, specific event. And as much as I thought of it, I never, I stopped shaking. It just had a real impact, this music. And it did, it just soothed my nerves for the rest of the day. And I know they were offering like trauma counseling through the store itself, I think during the next week. And I didn't even end up going to that. In hindsight, maybe if I should have gone, maybe to be support to someone else. I didn't think of it. I didn't even think of it. But I was just feeling so much better from just the experience of this music, which is very healing to me anyway. It's very soothing, kind of dark and mysterious, but it's it has that quality. Very hypnotic, steady state. But it was just so perfect in that moment, and it just. As heavy as that day was, it just helped a great deal. And so I could, if I were to really stop and brainstorm, I can think of other instances, but I'm just curious about some of you out there, if you have an instance where it was maybe one song or an album, or maybe a few albums where you just had an event, it could have been anything, a traumatic event, or a really bad day at work, or the passing of a loved one, whatever it may have been, but something that was, at least an aspect of it was cured for you, or I don't know, hardly any sleep here, so I'm probably not real coherent at the moment. But I'd just love to hear if you have a specific event that where the music just was the healing agent, and just and you'll always have that association for the rest of your life, and I just love to hear about it. So just wanted to come on and share that. And I think it's been a while since I've done a thread. I think maybe the last thread, I think I did a 25-year thread. I think it's the last one I did. So I'd love to hear from some of you and hear about your experience. So that'll do it for now. See how much longer I could stay awake, and then that'll be it for a little while. So I hope you're all well, and for those of you in the States who celebrate, hope you have a happy and safe 4th, whatever you do. And until next time, peace, love, and joy.